This is the video for first CAD tutorial exercise. In this video, we're going to introduce 4 different commands which can be used to create a component like this. To do that, we need to start Solid Edge. After you start Solid Edge, you will see a screen like this. If you use the Solid Edge before, you may have some files as a recent files appear, and you may have some recent folders appears here. If it's a blank, I mean, you haven't actually saved any file into the system yet. To create a new model, we need to use new. So click on new. You will see we have 6 items here. They've been called as environments. We can call them as a module, as a short. We are going to use 3 of them in this course. One is part, GB metric part. GB metric means Great Britain metric system. You can change it to a different system by click on the edit list. You have the window pop up. So you have a different templates for American standard, for Germany standard, UK standard, international standard, Japanese standard. So to choose one of these to fit your purpose, then you click on OK. For the assignment, we are going to use GB metric. For the 3D components, we use a part module. We use GB metric assembly to put all the parts together as assembly model. We use GB metric draft to produce drawings based on 3D component. In this tutorial, we are going to use that module. We're going to learn how to use a part module for a few weeks before we move on to the assembly module, then move on to the draft module. Right, to start the part module, just double click it. You have a new window pop up. In this new window, make sure you check here, this orange bar says ordered. That is for us to create models. If it's a different appears here, you need to go back to the configuration video to follow that video to set your Solid Edge to be the same as the tutorial videos. Otherwise, you cannot follow the tutorial video. In this environment or module, we have a few commands here, like extrude, which is the one we use to create a 3D model. We also have a cut, which is the one you actually create the empty parts, cut something from. You can see here, it is currently grayed out. It's not live because in the system at the moment, there's no solid part. Therefore, you cannot perform cut. Revolve, which is we're going to learn later on in the next video, is the one you have a profile, then you create a cylindrical part based on a central line, axis of a revolution. Then you have other commands, etc. We are going to learn like this round, or you get to learn the chamfer, which is the one create a flat surface, flat corner, rather than the round corner. Okay, let's start with the first command, extrude. Right, once this command is selected, you can release your mouse button key and move to the working area here. Then you can move your mouse to one of the plane. You can click to select it to place your profile. You can use any of this plane. It's just a matter of the orientation of your block. After you click that one, you are in a new window, right? Now we need to use this line command here to produce a profile. To create a block, we need to actually use a rectangular shape. Therefore, we go for the second one here. We have a command called rectangle by center. If you click this triangle, you'll see more commands appear here, like rectangle by 2 points, 3 points, etc. So I use this one by 2 points. It doesn't really matter where you draw this rectangular shape. You can start from here, you can draw here. If you draw right in the middle, it looks nice. But in terms of the model itself, without considering assembly, it would be the same. When you're considering the assembly, you always like to start from middle. Right, since this is the exercise, I just do that randomly at any place. You click. After you click, you must release your mouse and drag. If you hold your mouse button down, you cannot control the dimension. Okay, you have to release your mouse and drag. And here you can see, as I move the mouse around, you'll see the dimension change. In order to fix the dimension, you need to actually leave your mouse completely and type the figure on the keyboard, like 50. Okay, that things changed because the mouse has been changed. So you have to actually carefully, without actually touching the mouse at all, and type the finger and press enter. Once the enter is typed, and move to the next box. So that 50 is fixed. This dimension is a 30. Type return, same enter. The last one is the orientation angle. So we don't need to worry about that. So we just play this landscape. If you like to put the portrait, you need to actually type 90. Okay, let's press enter. So these dimensions are fixed. Now move to get your mouse and move to this color sketch and click. You're now back to 3D. Right? In 3D, we can actually extrude it into 2 directions symmetrically. If you click that one, right, one is not highlighted, this command is not highlighted, the symmetric extent is not highlighted, you can extrude in the one direction. When this one is highlighted, is a non-symmetric is highlighted. What happens is you click on one, so you can choose extend in one direction and click, and move to the other direction, which is not the same, and click. So this is the asymmetric one. Right, so we want to do the symmetric one. Okay, so again, it's not easy to use a mouse to produce a exactly extension distance. So we just leave the mouse now and enter the figure into this distance box here. So it's 20. Press 10. So it's fixed. Then you can move the mouse to finish its block. Right. And then click on cancel. Now you can see here, we have a one item list under the ordered orange bar. This is this block, right? If you want to change the dimension of the block, you cannot actually just click here and change it. You have to come over here. When this key is selected, select, and then click on this one, and then you move to this one, edit profile, click. It will bring you back to the place wherever you draw this shape. Now you can assign dimension to it and change the dimension as well, for example, to 55, etc. Right. And you can change to whatever the dimension you like, and to whatever the shape, whatever the part of the shape, but you have to actually use select, then click on the existing dimension until this box appears, then you can change it. Right. Once you've done it, then you can click on this close sketch. It brings it back to 3D. Right. In this one, you can click on the thickness. And then you change the thickness as well. Right. And if everything is done, then you can click on finish. You may note it where I'm doing this one is start from select the plane, then move to the next stage to draw a profile, then jump to this one, extend, extrude it. Right. So that step, which is a side step, has been left. We are going to explain this one later on when we actually create the cut. Okay. So once it's done, you can click on finish and click, it's finished. The next is to create a hole on the block. So we can use this cut. Now you can see this command becomes alive because we have a solid part. Click on cut, and you can move to the plane, reference plane. You also can use the surface of the components as the reference plane to draw your profile. So we do this way. Click, it goes to go to the 2D. Now we can draw a circle here using this command. We also have a different circle command, draw the ellipse, circle by center, circle by 3 points, etc. So we use the first one. Right, then you move to the this area, the block area. It doesn't really matter where you actually have the first clip to locate the center of the circle, because later on you need to actually assign the dimensions to the against the edge. So just click and release your mouse button and drag to somewhere. It looks okay, and then you can enter the dimension. For example, I put a 10 here, press return, it's fixed. If you hold the mouse again and move it slightly, don't hold the key down, you can see the second circle come out. This is just a continue of the first one. In order to terminate that one, you need right click the mouse button key. Okay. Now we need to actually set the dimensions between the center of the hole and the edge. To get the center of the hole, you cannot actually go straight to get center hole. You have to actually use a mouse close to the circle. When it's highlighted, the center of the hole appears, then you can move to the center. Once that indicator appears, you click and move to the edge. Once it's highlighted, and click. If you drag horizontally, it gives you vertical dimension. If you drag vertically, it gives you horizontal dimension. But when you drag it, your mouse, do not hold mouse button key. Okay, and now you click, you can assign the dimension here. For example, 15. Right, now we do it again. Again, we need to find the center by moving the mouse to the circle first, and then click on the center and click on the edge. Now this time we need to actually move up and down to get horizontal dimension. Click, and then put in 25, return. Now the circle is right in the middle. So we can move to this next stage to actually extrude the circle all the way through the block by click the close sketch. Allows us to move the 3D part. Here, you can see it jumps over to the that part. Okay, so we click on that one, give you symmetric, enter the dimension 20, press enter. Now we have a hole in there. Okay. You can still change the dimension at this stage before you hit unfinished. Hit unfinish, hit on cancel. You see now we have two items here. The other one is, the second one is the hole. If you want to change the hole, you need actually working on here rather than on the model itself. So that is the place you change the dimension. Last time, when we changed the dimension of the block, I said you can select and click and then use the icon here. There's a second way. Select, right click. Then you can see you have the same function at the profile as you can see on the screen. So you can use this way as well, which brings you back to the place you draw the circle. Then you can change the dimension of the circle. Okay, you can see the dimension of the circle is not turned as I expected, because when I enter the turn, my mouse is been touched, then the dimension has been changed. Okay, if I want to change back to turn, just click. When that appears, type 10. Okay, now it's 10. Now we can go back to this close sketch. So it's done. Right. Continue to make the model. We have a cylinder. Right here. Okay, to make that cylinder, we're going to use cut again. You're going to select this plane. Okay, we're going to use by center point again. We need to actually get the center to move to the circle and click again. That dimension is 24. Okay, press enter. Right click to cancel the command. Now we can use this. Watch here. Okay, so this cut the middle hole completely. Right, that is not what we want. Right, we want actually a solid cylinder there. So what we have to do is, remember we're talking about this one, side steps. It jump over directly to this extent. So actually we need actually back to here, and here we indicate whether you want cut inside or you want to cut outside. When you move the mouse, make sure you don't hold the mouse button down. Right. So if you want to cut outside, then you can give instructions cut outside. Right. Oh, cut inside. But at this stage, because it's symmetric cut, it cut both sides. But we now need to actually click on this one. Make sure it's not highlighted. Then we can cut this side. Right, we can have a small cylinder here. Now we can enter the dimension, turn. Click, we have that one made. And we can click on finish. So we have can cancel. Then we can have this cylinder like this on top of the block. Right. The next step is to create chamfers and round. As you can see in this model. Right. Then we can move to this command, which is called a round. Round command is to make a circular shape. Okay, normally we use a round command to do the internal angle or corner like this. So round, and we need to assign a dimension here, for example, 1.5. Then you move to the edge here and click, you see it's around. The reason for that is because whatever way you machine it, it's not possible to have a sharp corner as the edge like this. There's no tool can help you do that. Therefore, normally we have an internal corner like this, but external corner we use chamfer. Okay, that's done. Okay, finish. Next is to use the chamfer command. Again, we have a setback. So put 0.5. Normally, this dimension is quite small. Just make sure not cut hands when it's too sharp. So you can choose. There's other commands here. You can choose, like you can have a chain, a loop. For example, it's a loop, the whole size. Right. Okay. It can have edge, corner. Right. So you can change the dimension as well. And press enter or fixed and finish. So you can see it's all done, the same as the one showing on the the tutorial requirement. But after that one, you can just click on save and save your file. That's it for this video.